Okay, I'm reviewing The Dark Knight Rises again. I'm not going to bother explain myself. I'm just going to jump straight into the review. Um, this is what I feel like doing because I like this movie a lot, and I think it's the best Batman movie in the Dark Knight trilogy, next to Batman Begins. Man, my least favorite being obviously The Dark Knight, which is right in the middle mediocre entertainment, but it's fun to watch the Dark Knight movie from 2008. The reason why I think that is because the other two, Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises, are more of a character study of Batman, whereas the Dark Knight movie is not really a character study of Batman, but more just a dumb, mindless action flick. It's basically the most Michael Bay-ish of any Batman films, including Batman and Robin. As in dumb, stupid, a little repetitive, but fun. And it doesn't take that also, it's not that smart as the audience claims it is. It's really just, well, I'll give you a little summary of what the plot of the Dark Knight is, okay? Joker running crazy around Gotham as this Batman figure who is Bruce Wayne takes him down right after the Joker outsmarts him several times throughout the third act structure of the film by giving into Joker's rules, by playing by the Joker's rules, and turning himself in by revealing everyone his public identity, his secret identity to the public. Only later revealed that it's not that. That doesn't happen because Harley beats him too by posing as Batman. The Joker still wants to kill Batman, and no one else except Batman. Then he finds out that Harvey Dent's not really Batman's someone else, and which leads to a very cruel climax. And the Joker somehow wins by Batman decides to. No, Batman wins because the Joker can't win because therefore he takes the blame for Harvey's sins once he becomes Two-Face. Oh, and Harvey dies. And that's pretty much it. It's not really that complicated. I see the reason why it's not really it's pretty more. One of the benefits I think that the Dark Knight has is that what Batman Begins didn't have is a more fluid narrative for the plot. However, that being said, that is a good point. It's everything else wrong with the film. Like, the editing could be better, the pacing could be better, the character development on Batman could be better, which is the most important part of this Batman franchise is, well, Batman, because it's supposed to be a character study at Batman that started with Batman Begins and ended with The Dark Knight Returns. And also the emotional weight could be more solid and heavier than like in Batman Begins with Dark Knight Rises. That's a little absent in the Dark Knight movie. Like, remember that really emotional scene when Bruce was reminded by Alfred of what his dad said when he was a kid, saying, "Why do we fall so we can learn to pick ourselves back up?" And this inspires them to push on and becoming Batman, saving the day, and stop Ra's al Ghul from its madness of terror. That was a pretty emotional scene. We see that scene emotional, if not maybe as emotional, maybe more emotional, is when Batman's in this cave and he dislocated back from Bane, and he sees a ghost as Ra's al Ghul, as he's in serious pain, I guess, and seeing Ra's al Ghul's ghost, and finds out that somehow his detective skills turn to shit, because we find out that the twist is not Bane's not the child of Ra's al Ghul, it's Talia, who he slept with and had one night stand is Ra's al Ghul's child. But still, it's not a really emotional scene, because Batman's feels first time in his career as Batman completely he first time feels like the first time in his career since Batman Begins. He feels a moment of helplessness, like he can't do anything to fix the problem, to save the day. So you really feel that angst that Batman's going through, and that emotional weight that you have that they bring to us, the Dark Knight. He just lets out this real bad loud scream, says no, and he decides to keep on pushing on forward, and to eventually makes the climb after having his back fixed. Even though he has had several errors and failing at the climb, and it's the jump pot he has to make. It's not the climb pot, it's the jump pot of the climb he has to make to get out the hole. And this is, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of the plot of the Dark Knight Rises plot. So in Gotham, Batman has been absent for about 5 years. And for some reason he was tired, and he's become a cripple, which is strange, because I was wondering, when did that happen? Because he was running off pretty smoothly in the end of the Dark Knight movie. So, but okay, he's a cripple now, and he has trouble walking and has damaged cartilage, severe damaged cartilage and muscle tissue. So he gets this robot sing mechanic that helps him walk again. And he's about to, and he's going to be into, and he's because the reason why he's doing this is because he's going to be Batman again, because Gotham and Batman, known as, not the Batman half, but the Bruce Wayne half, and Gotham have lost hope. And I guess, he's going to put on this Batman suit, hopefully get that hope back, and the loss of purpose he had years ago when Rachel died. And that would have probably might not have been as bad if Alfred, after later on and confessing in the film, for burning Rachel's letter, saying that he chooses Harvey over Bruce Wayne. The trauma that Batman went through probably wouldn't have been as bad, but probably would have been a little bad. He probably was just thinking to himself, say, fuck that bitch, So Batman comes back, and he, the cops start chasing Batman instead of chasing Bane and the robbers, because he's a more legendary Wonder Man, therefore, who is accused of killing Harvey Dent, because Batman decided that's going to be the cover-up story for Harvey Dent's sins. So that part of the Harvey Dent policy, Harvey Dent nature, because Harvey Dent still seen as a hero. Everyone in Blackgate that Harvey's put way in past is not allowed out of prison. It's not allowed to step foot out of prison with probation. So in other words, they're set in there for life, which It's kind of cruel when you think about it, but then not going to be executed either. So, Bane outsmarts Batman by the cops, using the cops' stupidity and the greed stupidity to their advantage by, after Batman shows up, and really cool chase scene. So, here's what happens, which I feel like a lot of people like glance over this part of the film. Okay. All Bruce Wayne's money from the Wayne Foundation gets stolen by Bane's crew. What most people tell you, pretty much everyone on the internet, dumbass on the internet, tell you is that Batman did that to himself by losing his own money. No, the Bane's crew just kind of outsmarted him because Batman's using his brains, which he doesn't really forget, which he forgets to use quite often in this film. Something that he gradually forgets about using his detective and his work and his detective skills, in other words, his brain power, gradually fades away into obscurity as the trilogy goes on. And this is where Batman's the dumbest. That's the problem. Because Batman's not supposed to be a dumbass. He's supposed to be brilliant. Like Sherlock Holmes level brilliant. Heck, even Clouseau, Inspector Clouseau from the Pink Panther franchise and the remake Pink Panther franchise is showing more brain power than Batman in this movie. I'm not kidding you. It is amazing how much of a dumbass they made Batman into this movie. That being said, it's still very emotional. You feel very emotional attached to Batman, especially when you see he's willing to put on his life on the line and to save Gotham, only to reveal that wait, I'm getting to my head myself, so Batman blames Lucius Fox for losing all the money for some reason, and Batman points out that they're not responsible, and he somehow forgets that Lucius Fox, who's been running Wayne Enterprises. Wayne Enterprises is where he lives for 5 years now, since Batman quit being Batman. And we don't know why Batman quit being Batman for some reason. It's really confusing. But so is the entire trilogy confusing, so it's probably best you don't try to think about it too hard. Like there's a plot hole in the Dark Knight trilogy and the Dark Knight trilogy in the movie 2008 film The Dark Knight, where I'm confused. I still look confused, and why Batman says to Gordon which one we're going after. He says Rachel, and he goes after Harvey, and I'm still trying to figure out what exactly did he mean by that, because he says we to Gordon, as in him and Gordon and the cops are going after Rachel, but he goes and after Harvey and leaves Rachel to die. And he was going to go after Rachel first because that would make sense because that is the love of his life. He was still going to try to save Hyde either way. It basically doesn't say he wasn't going to try to save both of them, but he was going to try to save Rachel first, along with police force and going on the police force. And yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah, so yeah, Rachel dies, and because the plot says so, okay? And in the Dark Knight trilogy. Now we're back to the Dark Knight Rises, and I'm going back to talk about that. And so yeah, Batman gets new high tech, gets upgrades from Lucius Fox, and he gets the Batwing. That is foreshadowing for him outsmarting the cops once it looks like they got Batman into a corner, only to reveal that he's going to escape with the Batwing. And it's pretty epic. This is during the chasing between Bane and his crew, and wait a minute. I just realized something. If that happened before, so wait, does that mean the dumbasses of the internet are right that Batman lost most of his heritage because of his stupid decisions, his stupid financial decision, him as being an active Batman throughout the years? Yeah, this is kind of proving my point that Batman does become stupid over the time course of the trilogy. So yeah. Anyway, I told you this is a very so yeah, even though this is a really I got nothing. I don't know how to save this. I don't know how to how I'm going to make this film look good. But let's just continue. Even though I like this film, it has lots of problems. So do the other two predecessors and the Dark Knight franchise. But I still like them. I said in my previous video, my last Batman Begins review, that I think that the Dark Knight Rises is the best Batman film in the Dark Knight franchise. I still stand by that, but I'm not saying it's the ultimate Batman film, okay? None of these films are. Like, it's not the Batman film I always dreamt of, or close to dreaming. Such as like a Batman film, Mask of the Phantasm, and Batman v Superman. Did I say like a Batman movie? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, so Yeah, I'm just going to finish this. So Batman, falls in love with this cat burglar who doesn't go by the name Catwoman, but the script says that. But everyone online in the press calls her Catwoman, and for some reason, she doesn't take on the identity of Catwoman, so she's just a cat burglar who is really Selina Kyle, who falls in love with Bruce Wayne. Who outsmarts Bruce Wayne pretty easily. Who is so obvious, so for some reason off screen, he figures out, like, puts two and two together. Selina Kyle and Capra are the same people, off screen. Why do I know this? How do I know this? Well, because he tracks her down after he's in the cave, after he escapes from the cave. And I'm a little confused because I'm realizing there's more problems with this film. And I skipped a part of the film. So anyway, they fall in love, team up together, kick ass, and Selina Kyle backstabs Batman. And then she finds out she's Bruce Wayne because Bane said so. And he didn't expect her to backstab her, even when he has outsmarted and backstabbed her several times throughout the 3-act structure. World's greatest detective, everybody. Or should I say, world's greatest dumbass. He couldn't keep it in his pants. Oh, this is during a montage after he has a one-night stand with the League of Assassins. Talia, who's Ra's al Ghul's daughter, later revealed after Bane revealed that Bane isn't, because of Batman's shitty detective skill, because he decided to come out of retirement after 5 years. He figured this all out when he was in a cave. And get this, after Bane brutally beats the shit out of him, instead of breaking his back like in the comics, guess what? They did a PG-13 version of it, as in they dislocated his spine. Yeah, they're going through that bullshit. This happens when your film's PG-13 censored. So yeah, unlike in the comics, he doesn't give up being Batman because he's not physically able to. Therefore, it would make sense for the guy who goes by the name Robin to leave little trails of breadcrumbs to teaching him and to slowly mentoring him and to becoming Batman. Yeah, I'm not kidding. His legal name's Robin. So instead of going that route, like tricking him into becoming Batman to a point he has no choice to become Batman because Gotham has no hope, has no savior, who has to be Batman. Therefore, it would make sense because instead of him actually getting keys to the Batcave at the end of the film, why not him get keys to the Batcave while Batman's in the cave? That would have made more sense, Batman. But you didn't think of that because you're a dumbass. He is dumber than George Clooney's Batman in this. I'm not, shit you not. Because he has no common sense. Even George Clooney's Batman had common sense. Oh boy. Fuck me. I just realized that. Well, it's what does Batman's brain remind me of? George Clooney's Batman. The most hated Batman ever. So Anyway, so anyway, um, anyway, Batman gets dropped in a cave after Bane whips his ass like a little bitch. After dislocating his back. Turns out after Bane gives this nice monologue, he leaves the cave and Batman gets his back fist by this old man that used to be a doctor, or is a doctor, so who's in the same, shares the same cell as Batman. And Bane put somehow, for some reason, decided it was a good idea that put a doctor in the same cave, the same room as Batman, who is the only chance of turning Bane's world upside down. In other words, he is screwed. Screwed. So, anyway. So, Batman makes out of the cave, puts the suit on again, makes a dramatic entrance, and Bane does the same call, says, "It ain't impossible," as he's staring at the Batman logo in flames. Because Batman decides to let the whole world know that he's back instead of giving Bane the element of surprise. Because instead of what would make sense if that he's like keeps on singing, why not just, work in the shadows and just like disarm the bombs and let Bane think you're dead while Commissioner Gordon and his crew disarm the bomb while they're working with you. And then you drop in the middle of the fight scene between the cops and Bane's army. And then you decide to show the world that you are back. But no, you just decide to go the dumbass route because you like the attention, Batman. So, anyway, Batman finds out that Talia is really the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, and Bane isn't, after Talia stabs him in the rib. And Catwoman has to surprise, who is not Catwoman because she doesn't take on the name Catwoman, who is just Selene Kyle dressed up in a Catburglar costume, who takes a hold of the Bat Psycho, which becomes the Catwoman Psycho from the comics because it has a woman on it. That's it. No paint job, no tweaks. Just the same style, the same design. Now it's hers. So anyway, she saves Bane. She saves him from Bane because Bane decides he wants to kill Batman before the fireworks go off, as in before the nuclear explosion to Gotham goes off that will blow up Gotham into millions of ashes. So, that's because he hates Batman. And it's smarter, the thing to do. So, really, the dumbass heroic figure of the film is Batman, and he's fighting a equally dumbass heroic League of Assassins leader, who is, by the way, Talia Ra's al Ghul, who is the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, who makes equally as dumb decisions as Batman and somehow outsmart him just by having sex. See, I told you he couldn't keep it in his pants. Batman, who I'm talking about. So instead of having a smart, except for bringing the Doctor in the same cage as with Batman, seriously, that was a dumb move, who makes mostly competent decisions most times, and being the leader of the League of Assassins, you decide to have a dumbass the leader of the League of Assassins, and because Bane is absolutely smartest. He's just outsmarting everyone left and right. It's like no problem. And the way the film opens up is Bane taking down a plane and crashing it. But one of his crews decides to make a noble sacrifice and to let the people know that Bane's coming. That Pain is coming. Gotham's reckoning. But instead, when you really think about it, it's not Bane doing all this stuff. It's a dumbass doing all this stuff when you really think about it. We realize that he was just following orders of the League of Assassins